So Framework just had their next gen event for their 2026 line of products. I watched it live. I had a lot of mixed feelings, a lot of excitement, admittedly, but there's also some skepticism because I'm not exactly susceptible to marketing. They're going to have a saying that comes up that says, you will own everything and be free. And I really want to believe that. And that seems to be the direction things are headed. So I won't hold up your time too long. I want to go ahead and get into this event and give you my reaction to everything.
Now, I want to switch to the Framework Laptop 13. This
oh boy, here
is
we
our
go.
original product. It's what we started with all the way back in 2021, and it represents the core of our product ideology, what's been holding you back from jumping in. The biggest thing has been battery life. We've heard that feedback from you over and over again. You might have seen this timer running earlier, and you might be wondering what this thing is.
Yep.
This specific test is local video playback, actually for copyright reasons, but we're also achieving over 20 hours of Netflix 4K streaming. And we've not only caught up to the 14-inch MacBook Pro M5 in a number of use cases, in this specific one, we're actually surpassing it.
I'm very excited for this upgraded battery life. I was going to say earlier, it's funny that I didn't even notice the first time I was watching this, the new graphite black chassis that they basically just teased there, and that new keyboard. I thought it was a custom build. I didn't realize that that was what they were going to sell. And the long battery life with the new chassis, I can't believe how much they just gave away right there.
We know battery life claims from device makers are usually totally bogus, so we're actually going to be publishing full-length videos and setup descriptions to our Framework YouTube channel over the coming months, so you can actually repeat the same tests that we're running.
I really love to see that transparency from Framework. Literally, they're putting their money on the line and showing you exactly what to expect by putting videos out of the laptop being used and testing the battery, and then you can compare that for yourself once you buy it. I don't think that Apple has ever done anything like this, at least, you know, showing just how long their batteries worked. Everyone just trusted them. And, you know, I guess they were right for trusting them because they do have great batteries, but they're so secretive with everything else they do. It's amazing that Framework is just so confident in what they're making that they're going to just post the results and the real-time results out in the public for anyone to see who might be skeptical about buying. Because yeah, I've read the comments and I see a lot of you guys say that the Framework is a bad deal. It's not. The values are good, and now this is finally sounding like it's going to start, you know, packing a punch and trading blows with Apple, and I'm really excited to see where that goes.
What we're excited to announce today is the Framework Laptop 13 Pro.
Oh, that looks sexy. Look at that.
Yes. So how do we get that massive leap in battery life? First, the battery. This is now 74.45 watt hours, and we've achieved that both by making the battery physically larger and by increasing the energy density to 850 watt hours per liter.
Called it.
We also have a new 100-watt power adapter to support that larger battery. Next, we move to Intel's latest Core Ultra Series 3 processor platform. Yeah.
That's pretty recent, isn't that?
It's great.
Yeah, Core Ultra 3 is their current. That's insane. That's incredible. I'm actually really excited about that.
There's a massive leap in efficiency over the last generation and over anything that we've shipped in a Framework laptop before. We're also using LPCAMM 2. Whoa, okay.
Yeah, that is insane. I didn't think they could make the memory modular, but they did. That is... Oh, this is going to be hard not to upgrade to. I can't believe this. I can't believe this. I'm going to have a hard time saying no to this upgrade. I'll probably say no when I see the price, though, because, I mean, yeah. And that's not on Framework for me saying that. It's not because their pricing is bad. It's because the RAM market is bad. And I'm going to have, if I buy this main board, I'm going to have to buy RAM. So, you know, basically buying two main boards.
In a modular form factor. We've got capacities with up to 64 gigabytes. And in today's environment, when memory prices are just crazy high, that means you can pick up just the memory you need today, knowing that you can always upgrade in the future when you need to.
Oh, wow. They got 2 different slots here. Nice. I like the little jab with the Apple. Nice reference. They really are being up front with them trying to trade blows. They want to compete. They want to go up against the MacBook Pro. Good for them. I hope they do. I hope it ends up being just exactly the competition they need. Yeah. See, I have 32 gigs right now. I'm not dropping $439. If I were to upgrade, I would want 64 gigs, and that's a main board. That is the cost of a main board. There's no way that's happening.
We've also introduced this new finish that we're calling Graphite. I think it looks great. And if you have a Framework Laptop 13 already, we also have all of the new 13 chassis parts available in a silver colorway as well.
I just want to stop it right there. Graphite, an incredible color. I've been wanting my laptop to look like this forever. I've missed the look of the ThinkPad. This is perfect. So this is another tough pass. I want to buy it, but I gotta see the price on this. I gotta check out the price on this one. I mean, here we're looking at the input cover right here for $179. That's pretty pricey. I can't even lie. That's pretty pricey, but I know that it's more than just, you know, it keeps going away. I know it's more than just this keyboard. I know, spoiler alert, we've got a haptic touchpad too. So that's included in the bundle. So, and from what I understand, it is a whole new build. It's a whole new structure. I don't know. $180 though. That's kind of steep. That's incredible actually. Whoa. What is this? You get the battery included in the top cover, maybe everything, the chassis. Can you buy this? I'm going to register interest in that chassis kit because that's incredible. I would actually very much, yeah, I would jump on that.
Since we started from scratch on this product, for the first time, we designed an entirely custom display, specifically around the use cases that you want most from Framework Laptop 13. We kept it an LCD for maximum power efficiency, but this is no ordinary LCD. This has up to 700 nit brightness, 1800 to 1 contrast. It has per unit color calibration for accuracy, and it supports variable refresh rate from 30 to 120 Hertz. And finally, this is a touchscreen. We also redesigned the touchpad. This is now a piezo-based haptic touchpad using the same technology we just introduced on Framework Laptop 16. We know that touchpads are where Windows and Linux laptops have typically fallen behind MacBook Pro, so we put a ton of focus on this. We also added something new here that's a lot of fun. We've got keyboards available in different colorways. I think this looks awesome.
That does look awesome. The trackpad, called it, but it's kind of pricey though. But I'm going to be getting a whole different input cover, so that's something I'll have to think about now. We'll talk about that later when I do a follow-up video on this. But the screen being a touchscreen, and it doesn't have the rounded quarters, from what I'm seeing, amazing. And yeah, this keyboard here, specifically in the middle, I think I think I'm gonna have to get that one. This is like an incredible upgrade, down from performance all the way to appearance and build quality. Like from the ground up, this really is a new product, and I am struggling to not buy one of these. I'm actually really excited. Holy shit.
We also improved the audio. We now support Dolby Atmos with stereo side-firing speakers.
Oh man, please do an audio test.
The Atmos algorithms really level up the audio experience. It's both louder and clearer than before. Even with this complete overhaul, this is still a Framework laptop. We've got customizable bezel colors, hardware privacy switches, and expansion cards that support Thunderbolt so you can choose your ports.
It looks like they switched up the bottom of the laptop too. It looks like they have a new mechanism for unlocking. That's really cool. And also, I'm not going to just skip over the Dolby Atmos. I don't care. I might end up getting it if it comes with the bottom chassis upgrade, but I use headphones. I never really listen to audio out loud, but if this is actually superior quality, depends how much it cost. 13 Pro speaker, $19? Nah. Hey. Bottom cover kit, $169. I'm thinking, guys. My laptop won't match, but I don't care. $89? Okay. $19. I might actually go ahead and... Guys, hold on a second. Let's see here. Let's just pretend I want to swap out the chassis and all that. We're looking at $19 speakers plus $169 plus $159. What do we got? $347. Oh wait, you got to get the battery too. I forgot. Battery. $436. And you're not getting the top cover. What would a top cover cost? Is there a top cover here for sale? No? I still can't get over the laptop speakers are only $19. I'm wondering if they're even going to sound that good. They're probably not, but I'm hoping they do. They're Dolby.
Even though we developed an entirely new chassis, the mainboard is still backwards and forwards compatible with every Framework Laptop 13 that we've shipped.
As it should be. As it should be.
That is a massive leap in performance, all in the
Nice.
laptop that you already own.
Sorry, I had to stop. Nice Apple metric there. Just random bars or random lines without showing what it is. But, Apple's was accurate too, so I'm going to take your word, Nurov, that this is actual performance gains. Where's the new one? Core Ultra Series 3. Okay. What, we got the X7 for $799? That's not actually... If I wanted to forego everything else and just get this, not bad. Well, then you got to think I'm also spending another $400, $800. So we're just going to round up for tax sake. So yeah, to get the main board and the memory, you're basically going to be spending like $1,400 to $2,000. So I think I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait on the main board. That's impressive though. Very happy to see that, but I just don't think that I don't think that's a good idea right now. My 7640U is more than enough for what I need. So I might just do a chassis upgrade throughout the year, and then next year when they have their next event, maybe this Ultra 3 board will go down in price, and hopefully the RAM prices will too.
You can also upgrade your original Framework Laptop 13 piece by piece to get access to every one of those new refinements and features that we've introduced on the Pro.
As you should.
This is a Framework product. We're living up to the promise of longevity. You own it, you can do what you want with it.
As we should be able to. He's actually keeping up to the you will own everything and be free.
Linux has been a huge part of Framework right from the start. We've worked closely with developers and maintainers right from the beginning to improve the experience all throughout the product. With Framework Laptop 13 Pro, we're taking this to a new level. This is our first computer that is officially Ubuntu certified. And we have configurations with Ubuntu preloaded.
That's a blow. No, that's good. Sorry, let me rephrase that. That's a blow to Apple. That's a blow to Microsoft and to Apple, because Windows is garbage. It's a dumpster fire. I don't see it coming back. It could. I don't see it happening. And so people are reluctantly going to Macs, but if you have a framework or if you're wanting to stay away from the Mac ecosystem and you're wanting to go with Linux, getting a framework 13 Pro, everything we're seeing right now, that is Ubuntu certified, oh my God, dude. At the same price point as a MacBook 2, that's incredible. I'm not a big Ubuntu fan, but I am always happy to see Linux being a first-class citizen with any company. And this is a really good thing. This is actually going to drive a lot of competition, I think, for Apple products and Windows laptops in general, because this is going to make Framework and Linux as a whole more serious. People are going to start taking it more seriously, and that's what we love to see.
That means when you open it up, you can boot right in and everything works just the way you expect. For the first time in history, more silicon is actually going into the cloud than it is into personal computers. What it means to own a computer at all is fundamentally different than it was even a year ago. Today, I'm excited to unveil a new phase for this company. Today, we're introducing Framework AI. Okay, we're obviously, obviously we are not actually going to do that. I mean, no one in this audience was fooled in the slightest by that joke, unfortunately.
Yeah, no, I definitely got fooled for a second. I remember my jaw dropped when I saw this and I thought, oh my God, I'm a fool. But no, in a paradoxical way, I am still a fool because he got me.
This industry wants you to own nothing and be happy. We're fighting for a future where you can own everything and be free. Yeah, a personal computer actually should be personal. We now have a community that's large enough to build the most advanced projects in this open ecosystem. We're now also at a scale where some of these projects are starting to turn into products. This is WIDSPI's 10G Ethernet expansion card.
That's pretty cool. Actually, really cool. It is just essentially just a USB adapter, but it's still very cool that they have one that can slot into your expansion cards. I want to see more stuff like this.
2025 was a record year of growth for us. We're now operating at a scale where we can build products at the level of performance and refinement that you expect. We're happy to share the one-piece haptic touchpad module for Framework Laptop 16.
I called it. I called that in the video. I knew this was coming next.
And once we had this working, we decided to take that seamlessness just one step further, and we made a one-piece keyboard to go along with it.
Yeah, and I did not call this one. I did not call this a solid move. It's solid.
We're also introducing a Ryzen AI 5 configuration of Framework Laptop 16 that brings down the price of entry while still keeping that full modularity.
That's pretty cool, but I don't know why he's not announcing the price of these things. So yeah, if you're gonna go in for a Ryzen AI 5 on your Framework 16, because frankly, you're getting a 16 for the GPU, just to be realistic, and for the modular keyboard, where you could add really anything in there. They're not showing it in this preview, but you saw it in the video. It's not really a CPU type of laptop. It's more of a GPU gaming laptop. So if your barrier to entry is $1,200, that's not bad. That's actually a really sweet setup. I don't know why you wouldn't advertise that when right now your normal price to entry is about $1,500, or I guess even $1,299 if you're going with the OG. So I don't know, kind of a weird choice, Nirav, but whatever.
With Framework Laptop 16, we introduced one other module system, the expansion bay. As soon as we announced this and open sourced the specifications, we saw the community start to come up with use cases that we had never anticipated. One of the most popular areas of exploration was around Oculink. Now, to make this highly requested use case in the community available to more of you, we're happy to preview the Oculink dev kit. There are three parts to the dev kit. The first is the Oculink adapter board that drops right into the Framework Laptop 16 expansion bay shell. The next part is the graphics module Oculink dock. That lets you take the graphics module from your Framework Laptop 16 and extend it externally to the system. The final part is the PCIe Oculink dock. That lets you use standard PCIe cards like desktop graphics cards, 100 gigabit network cards, or video capture cards with your Framework Laptop 16.
That is awesome.
We designed this system as a kit. We have proof of concept demos of this system here today, and we'll be sharing more about the dev kit as we get closer to shipping later this year.
I don't own a Framework 16, but that is such an interesting update. I would love to see how this further develops later this year.
Now let's talk about something a little different. One of the things we look for when we're deciding what product categories to build next is seeing what you're most frustrated with. We know there are a lot of categories in consumer electronics that don't work the way you want them to. Products that you have to use every day, but that you don't actually like using. And there's one product we keep hearing about that stands out above all of the others. Anyone know what it is? Printer. I heard printer. 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 It's not actually a printer. It's not a printer.
Okay,
actually,
you know what?
It is
He keeps making this joke about, printers. Like, he keeps talking about it. Everybody's asking for a printer. I think the printer is coming one day. I think that it's definitely coming one day because he teased the haptic touchpad and then it came out like the next event. This is like the second event I know of where he's teased the idea of a printer. They're working on it, rest assured.
The living room and setup keyboard. Okay, yeah, we got some people who get it. If you're bringing a computer like a Framework desktop into the living room, setting up a Raspberry Pi, building a sim rig, you want something that's compact and integrated. But you still want it to be a great keyboard with a great touchpad. To tell you more about this, I'd like to introduce our product manager, Izzy.
Okay, so before Izzy's talks, didn't he open this up with what's a common complaint that everyone complains about? I don't think anybody in the framework community was asking for this or even conceiving of this idea from them.
When we were naming this product, we wanted something that left no ambiguity in what we want to make perfect. The three things: robust wireless connection, responsive touchpad, and a solid keyboard typing experience. That is why we're calling this exactly what it is: the Framework Wireless Touchpad Keyboard.
That's an awkward name. I think you could have just called it the Framework Keyboard.
To make sure the wireless support is truly excellent, we're using Nordic's newest ultra-low power nRF54 wire system on chip. This gives you fantastic power efficiency and connectivity, whether you're using Bluetooth LE or our prepared USB-A dongle. We even designed a USB-A adapter expansion card, so the dongle integrates perfectly with your Framework laptop or your desktop, as you can see here. The keyboard has 4 wireless profiles, letting you switch between different hosts. And of course, if you prefer a hardwired connection, it also functions as a wired USB-C keyboard. The keyboard firmware is open source, built on the ZMK firmware. That means you have total control. You can remap every single key, create complex macros, and configure custom layers to make the keyboard behave exactly how you want.
Hey, that's nice.
We're also making the CAD design files available today on our GitHub. We want to see
that's
you
even better.
Design your own inputs, your own mounts, your own enclosures, or complete custom builds around this hardware.
That's pretty nice.
Speaking of custom builds, the Framework Keyboard Control Board handles the logic for the keyboard. And we are making it available on the Framework Marketplace as a standalone unit, just like our main board.
Hey, that's even better.
If you want to make a wireless input device, you can start from the same platform we're using and take advantage of the connectivity, power efficiency, multi-host support, and compatibility with the Framework USB-A dongle.
That is very cool.
The Framework Wireless Touchpad Keyboard is shipping later this year. We're sharing this early because we want to give developer a head start. Alongside today's preview, we're opening up a developer initiative. We're inviting you to submit proposals for what you want to build using the Framework Keyboard Control Board. As we're finalizing development, we'll be sending out boards for the most interesting proposals, and we'll share details of this very soon. And we cannot wait to see what you build. Thank you.
That is actually really cool. I didn't think about that. That is something I had not considered at all from Framework. And the fact that they're going to give the board out so that way you could make your own keyboard, and they're open sourcing the CAD so that you can print your own design. All of this is actually really incredible. They didn't have to do this, but they did. And I don't know, I might set up my home theater and pick one of these bad boys up. That's pretty nice. I like it.
Thank you all for being here, and we're excited to see what you think of what we've built.
All right. That was really cool. Actually, I'm struggling here. Okay, so if I'm just gonna keep it 100% with you guys, I'm not upgrading my Framework 13 anytime soon. I mean, I think I'm going to get the chassis if it's a good deal to get everything bundled in one, and I can just take out my my current main board and drop it in there and like take out my screen. Yeah, I'll do that. That doesn't seem to be a problem because God, I love the graphite color they came out with, and I really think the graphite color is solid. I've been wanting a graphite colored framework for a while, and it's finally here. And on top of that, they've also updated the build quality and made it a bit bigger for a bigger battery, which are things I thought were going to be incremental steps, but they did it all in one. Props to Framework. So I think the chassis is going to be my immediate buy whenever I can see they're selling the whole thing as a product, or at least whenever it's out of pre-order. I don't feel like pre-ordering right now just because I've never cared for pre-ordering. I'd rather see some reviews, see how it is, and then go ahead and buy into it. There's going to be a video follow-up talking about some of my concerns with this, because I do feel like there is a bit of a problem that comes from this, but overall, I'm optimistic about it. I'm happy with it. And I think this is probably the best time ever for anybody to jump into the Framework ecosystem. If anyone's ever had any gripes or complaints about the price to performance, I think all of that is about to get, put to the wayside. So we'll see how this plays out. I'll do a little more research and I'll follow up with a more in-depth video. This was sort of my reaction to the event itself. And thanks for watching. Stay subscribed, and you will see more updates on this device as we find out more. Thanks.